ground distance from Newton to Turtle Creek. So again, our scale is going to be 5 miles over 4 units. Now we got to figure out the distance from Newton to Turtle Creek. Okay, so here's Newton. There's Turtle Creek. How many units are they away? 6. So that's equal to, so we get X miles over 6 units. Set it up exactly the same way. You're going to cross multiply and divide. Should get 7.5. I think that one I did right. All right, any question on doing that? Using a ruler. You will have to do this on your homework for tonight. You will need a ruler. And so, I have a feeling someone was going to be struggling with this a bit because you guys are not asking any questions. Let's go this way. Suppose I had a scale on a map that's 1 to 100,000. What does that mean, first of all? 1 to 100,000. Okay, say again, TJ.
Whatever unit, every one of those equals 100,000, whatever.
Are the same, right? So if I measure 1 inch on the map, 1 inch on the map is equivalent to 100,000 inches in the real world, right? Okay, so it's whatever you want to use. If you can measure 1 foot on that map, that 1 foot represents 100,000 feet on the map. So it's unit per unit. Unlike in our previous scale, where they're not the same, right? I have the unit for every mile. Okay, so they're not the same. So when you have them in these setups, like some of the maps we're going to look at tomorrow, will be done in this setup right here. So whatever unit you're measuring in, it's equal to 100,000 of the same units. Now, would you think that that is a small scale or large scale map? Well, let me ask you this. Let's talk about a globe.
Small. Do like a word map.
Map of the globe. Small scale or large scale map? Large scale map. In fact, usually on the globe, if you go to the Pacific Ocean, you get all the information you need. And this 16-inch globe, the ratio is 1 to 41,849,600. Definitely large scale. 41 million. How does 100,000 compare to 41 million? Definitely a lot smaller than this. Okay? But if I come back over here and we look at that map of the Glacier National Park, the scale on that map is considerably less. Most of your topographical maps will have the scale listed out. This is 1 to 50,000. So how does 50,000 compare to 100,000? Is that roughly the same? Is it pretty close? You're saying it's definitely a lot closer than the globe? I would agree. So I would say definitely the 1 to 100,000 is going to be a small scale map. So we understand that part A is definitely a small scale. But what about part B? Okay, if part A is small, how would you figure out part B? So understand that that's my scale, 1 to 100,000. And I found these 2 points on the map, and they're 6 inches apart. How would I find the distance in miles? Kind of. If they're 6 inches apart, what does that tell you about the actual distance between them? I think I heard it somewhere. What did you guys say? That means they're 600,000 inches apart. So if there's 600,000 inches, that doesn't really make sense to any of us, right? We're not used to dealing with those numbers of inches. How many feet is that? How many miles is that? How can I figure out how many feet that is? No. How many inches in a foot? 12. So if I have 600,000 inches, how many feet is that? How would I figure that out? Divided by 12. So we're going to take 600,000. Hopefully you guys are taking good notes on this. Divided by 12. And we get 50,000 feet. Well, what does the question want? Is it one in terms of feet or in terms of miles? So guys, use that reference sheet we gave you last week. How do you go from feet to miles? How many feet are in a mile?
1,000.
Nope. Close. How many feet in a mile? We're trying to figure out next. How many feet in 1 mile? Guys, this is something you really should memorize. It's one of those things that's worth memorizing. Come on, folks. Look it up real quick. Alright, I thought it was on there, but it isn't. Write this down and don't lose this. 5,280 feet in 1 mile. That's all. 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So we're going to take that 50,000 divided by 5,280. That will tell us how many miles. We come up with roughly 9.47 miles. So about 9.5 miles. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop there. Like I said, so this is basically something you guys need to do for your homework for tonight is making that adjustment, learn how to do that.